Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and I'm here today to talk about the astrology of March. I think March is probably going to be the most exciting and a little bit frightening month of the entire year. I do feel March is a big energy. We have Pluto changing signs into Aquarius. We also have Saturn changing signs into Pisces. And so this really is like a big deal is what I'm feeling about. So I wanted to talk about some of the main events going to be taking place throughout the month. We'll pull into some cards and see collectively what we could maybe expect in the energies. And so big energies. And so on March the 12th, we do have Jupiter and Chiron forming a conjunction, both of these energies in Aries, which is all about a self-identity wound, getting to the core of it and healing it. So basically, this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, especially for those who have their Chiron in Aries, but we're all going to be feeling this. We all have a core wound. And this does affect how we view ourselves and the world. And so this is going to be a rare opportunity to get in touch with and identify that core inner wounding in order to step into being that wounded healer. Because once we heal that wound, then we can become that healer for others. And so we have 7 conjunctions taking place this month. And so we are in this rare planetary lineup where we can enter into a brand new cycle, but we do have to close out the previous cycles. And so we're starting to feel this forward momentum is what I felt this morning. It kind of feels like things are back in the flow. Things are moving forward, not feeling so stuck as we have been. And I do feel that's in part to Mars almost completing its post-retrograde energy. And so this strong forward momentum is building. And so we have the new moon. Well, we have the full moon in Virgo. We have the new moon as well in Aries. And so these are huge like portal gateways kind of being opened. And so we have the opportunity to work with these energies. I can talk about these energies and we can be offered these opportunities and portals to walk through when it comes to these new cycles, but we do have to gain that momentum. We do still have to physically put in the action and do the work to benefit from these astrological events taking place. And so I do feel a month of towers. I do feel March is going to be one of those months where we kind of come back to life again. We do have the spring equinox, which is indicating rebirth, new life. We've kind of been in this deep inner sludge of doing the shadow work in the dark night of the soul. And so I do feel many of us are getting ready to come back to life. I know today the sun is shining where I'm at. The weather's a little bit warmer. It's just feeling a lot lighter than it has been over the previous weeks. And so whether or not something big happens in your life or not, we do need to understand we're planting some major seeds for the future. And so as we close out Pisces season and enter into Aries season, this is when a completely new chapter in our lives can begin, right? And we all hold the pen. We can write our own story, but we have to hold that pen. And so let's talk about these big energies, okay? So tomorrow, March the 2nd and 3rd, we're going to be feeling this Venus conjunct Jupiter and Chiron energy. And so I feel this is a day of luck. I feel this is like a 5-star transit is what I'm feeling. And so Venus conjunct Jupiter, both in Aries, I feel this optimistic energy coming to the surface. That's what I feel like we're leaning into. I'm feeling that return of optimism, this sense of like, hey, I can get up and go again. And so I do feel this conjunction is going to feel a little bit different though. And so we're going to have Venus and Jupiter conjunct Chiron at the same time. So this is going to highlight and put a spotlight on healing our emotions and our emotional wounds connected to relationships in our lives, one-on-one relationships. And so this is also going to make us acutely aware painfully aware of all of our repressed emotional wounds that have negatively influenced our life, our relationships with others. And so there might be this sudden onset of awareness of these negative patterns that need to be broken when it comes to these negative emotional cycles within relationships, and an acute awareness of what's been chaining us down in that sludge, right? And so it's this energy of getting those firm boundaries in place. You're not going to want to tolerate loose boundaries after this energy shift. And so we're not going to want to be involved living with other people in our lives if they are not accepting of our boundaries. And so if we're in a living situation where we cannot honor our self-expression and we can't get grounded in our wants and our goals to reach our fullest potential, then this is going to shine a spotlight on where you need to reclaim your independence, because Aries is about the self. And so I feel like a triple whammy of energies. And so I do feel this stirring up of deep, painful emotions from this lifetime and past lifetimes, which can lead to some angry outbursts, temper tantrums. So I feel a surge of powerful emotions over the next coming days, allowing us to get more in touch with who we are, to go through a period of self-development so we can understand where we need to make these necessary changes. And then we're coming from a place of conscious awareness. And so we also have Mercury conjunct Saturn on the 2nd as well tomorrow. And so we've got Saturn at a very critical degree, at the 29-degree mark in Aquarius. And so Mercury is also in Aquarius. And so both of these are at a critical aneretic degree. And so when we get to that point, we're at the culmination, the closing, an important ending of some sort. So there are going to be a lot of relationship endings over the coming days. Bailey, come here. You leave Sophia alone. I knew she was up to no good. And so you're going to have to leave something behind for good. And it's likely going to be a relationship ending of some sort. And it's like this sense of urgency that this has to be done. Or this feeling of, hey, I've got one last chance to do something right or to make amends to somebody that's important to me. And so I just feel like this finality, I kept being shown like the Ten of Swords. So although it's going to be a painful finality, it's going to bring resolution as well, right? And so these are all things that we've been doing the inner work on for the last several weeks, months, or even possibly years. And so the outcome, the revelation or the outcome of this inner work. On March the 7th, we've got Saturn entering into Pisces. On that same day, we also have the full moon in Virgo. What I did take note of was this full moon in Virgo is at 16 degrees 40. The last full moon in Leo was at 16 degree 40. So there's something very pivotal about the Leo Aquarius axis along with the Virgo Pisces axis at this time. And so we are closing out the age of Pisces. We're preparing to fully integrate into the new age of Aquarius. And so these are very pivotal shifts. Oh my God. And so I think Saturn entering into Pisces is probably one of the biggest transits of the year because it's interpersonal. It's not quite generational. It's not quite personal. And so there's going to be a certain area in your life that is going to just come to a natural, organic ending. And then the new doorway will be allowed to be open because we can't walk through the doorway of the new experience without fully closing out the past. And so it's going to be a different vibe going into Pisces from Aquarius. Aquarius was air, right? Saturn in Pisces is going to feel different from Pluto entering into Aquarius. And so Piscean is watery energy. It's asking us to find that deeper spiritual truth in our lives, right? It's this energy, Pisces. It's like we've been there, we've done that, we've seen it all. Now what is next, right? What does everything mean that I've learned over the last several years with Saturn in Aquarius? And now that Saturn is going into Pisces, what opportunities will I have to bring clarity around what I want to dream into existence, right? Piscean energy can be very ethereal energies. And so that combined with the full moon in Virgo at 16 degrees, we've had several full moons at the 16-degree mark, all of this leading up to this final ending of some sort. And so I keep being shown like the Seven of Cups. So I do feel this highly energetic Virgo energy because of the aspects it's forming with Uranus in Taurus and Mars in Gemini. I do feel a lot of disillusionment. The Seven of Cups represents a lot of options to choose from as well. Maybe too many options can bring forward a lot of confusion. So not knowing which direction to go. What I want to say is there are no wrong turns. And so the Virgo energy is bringing forward a little bit of common sense. I know my Virgo moon is all about common sense and you know, I can spot stupid is as stupid does from a mile away, right? I'm all about the common sense. And Virgo, it's not about quantity, it's about quality in our lives. And so what kind of quality are you holding in your life? So I do feel that Virgo full moon is coming in, bringing in a shakeup when it comes to a foundation. Taurus is the Hierophant, it's foundations, it's structures, and institutions. And with that full moon of Virgo squaring it up with Mars at 21 degrees in Gemini, Mars, the god of war, Gemini, all about duality. There's going to be a major shift within many of the masculines, I feel, because a lot of them, it's all been about quantity over quality, and I do feel a shift in perspective. So I'm also feeling those with the Virgo, Pisces, North Node, South Node access are likely going to go through some type of activation during that full moon when Saturn also shifts into Pisces. And so the mutable signs, I feel, are really going to be deeply affected. And then anybody stuck in rigidity is going to get blasted out of their comfort zone. On March the 12th, we do have Jupiter conjunct Chiron. And so expanding beyond these patterns, these wounds. And so this is once again a very important transit when it comes to the scheme of the entire year. March really is when big things happen. So I feel there's going to be a lot of awakenings. Many of us have been feeling this buildup over the coming months. And so at a collective level, we're all feeling these wounds. We're all feeling exposed. We're all feeling vulnerable as everything kind of resurfaces, because we cannot go into these new cycles of unconditional love until we fully remove the reminder of the painful experiences of the past. And in order to fully remove the painful experiences, they do have to be fully processed in our emotional body and cleared and healed and reprogrammed. And so many have been feeling very raw, open, exposed, and vulnerable. It is that energy of being taken to your knees, a coming to Jesus moment. And so this is where we connect the dots. Jupiter conjunct Chiron is going to allow us to see the bigger picture, behind the wounds and detach from that wound. And so I feel a revelation when it comes to a critical truth, when it comes to your service mission, when it comes to what's not served you in your emotional development. And so a lot of this does stem down to a mother wound or a father wound in childhood, but we also bring with us our past life baggage that we didn't learn in a past life. And so this is going to bring forward like a teacher or a guide, or many might be becoming spiritual teachers themselves. It's going to trigger that self-healing activation. And then on March the 16th, Venus enters Taurus. Well, Venus is right at home in Taurus, right? That is her home energy, her domicile sign. Taurus is the Empress energy. Venus is going to be very, very happy in Taurus. And we know when Venus is happy, everybody is happy, right? And so I think amidst all the turbulent energy, Venus in Taurus is the divine feminine's sweet reminder that everything is going to be all right. And so I do feel that's going to be a beautiful shift for many of the feminines throughout the month of March. And Taurus is all about getting rooted in our core truth, our values, a higher purpose, being guided by the divine, connecting with God source again. And so I do feel all of these energies, there's just so much going on this month, right? On March the 16th, Mercury conjunct the sun. And so this is going to pile extra baggage on your plate is what I'm feeling. And so this is going to show us, you know, everything you've been working on. What needs to come to life? What needs to die away? Maybe coming into some new downloads, some new information when it comes to maybe making an important decision and speaking that truth, right? On March the 19th, I'm excited about this one. Mercury is entering into Aries, so I'm going to feel right at home there. My Mercury is in Aries, and so Mercury is the first sign of the zodiac, so Mercury is going to just zoom right through this energy. So we only have 16 days of Mercury in Aries, so I'm going to soak it up as much as I can. And so this is going to be very interesting, though, with all of the backdrop we got going on with the cosmic lineups. And so it's like this energy of we're being asked to deal with lots of change coming in very, very quickly, rapidly, the quickening. And on the other hand, we're like finding it very hard to process all of this information because Mercury is like super, super, super fast. And with all the planets direct, this is going to kind of catapult us forward, and we're going to feel like we don't have a compass, we don't know where to go. And this is where we're going to kind of have to go with the flow and trust, right? To allow our guides and the energy to bring us forward. And so on March the 20th, the day after Mercury enters Aries, the sun enters Aries. So happy birthday to any of my March Aries out there. So, and we also have the spring equinox. And so March is bringing forward this new energy of coming back to life, right? And this is where we have equal day and night, equal light and dark, finding the balance. And so the 0 degree of Aries, that critical 0 degree, does mark the beginning of a new year, a new astrological year. And so reset, the great karmic reset button, and a chance to start all over again, especially through the upcoming month. And so I do want to say, you know, celebrate the Aries people that you have in your life, because Aries has beautiful energy to bring forward into the collective. Aries is bold and driven. Aries has this just get up and go, just do it instinct. And so Aries also has the ability to step outside of their comfort zone, right? Because they just kind of jump right into things. And so what I want to say, if something feels right, then it's right. Just go for it. Aries is the energy of the Fool too. So we also have the new moon in Aries on the 21st at 0 degrees. And so as the sun moves into Aries, the moon is joining Aries on the 21st with a new moon. And so double whammy for a karmic reset. And so this is where we bridge all of these lessons and we anchor into this new cycle is what I'm feeling. And so we have to be willing to seize these new opportunities, though. We have to be willing to embrace the change that's been put in front of us. And that Aries new moon is the energy of like act now or never, speak now or forever hold your peace. And so we got the Pluto energy working with this moon, backing up this support to say, hey, it's time to build a new solid foundation. It's time to put the past behind you and to put effort into embracing a new chapter. It's time to start a new chapter. And so on March 23rd, when Pluto enters Aquarius, this is going to be a very pivotal transit. It's not going to stay there. It's going to retrograde back into Capricorn and then re-enter back into Aquarius. It's not going to fully ground in Aquarius until next year. But this is going to show us what we're going to be dealing with. So if you've already buried the past, you're going to be smooth sailing with these transits. If you've buried something, if you've like avoided confrontation or avoided accountability, then these energies are going to be very difficult. So we're talking about a 20-year shift here. Pluto changes signs 20 years. This is generational. And so when it moves into a different sign, it's going to activate that area of your chart. So you're really going to want to pay attention to where Aquarius is in your chart. For me, it is my 12th house. It is where I bury the past. And I've been on the journey doing that with Saturn in Pisces the last 2.5 years. So I'm ready. I'm ready for this completely dramatic shift in my life, right? And so Pluto's only going to be in Aquarius for 3 months, but it's going to give us a taste of what the next 20 years of our life can be like. If you're somewhere you don't want to be, do you want to be there again in 20 years? Or do you want to bury the past and embrace this new energy? Because I feel we're at a pivot point. We're at an extensive pivot point. And the closer we get to that date, I feel like Plutonic fashion, we're preparing for something to leave our lives. And so it's like we don't know all the details yet, but it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And so on March the 25th, Mars is going to enter into Cancer. And so so this is Mars in its detriment. This is the fall energy. And so Mars is not going to fare well in Cancer. I know we're looking forward to Mars finally switching signs, because it's been a long 8 months with the Gemini in energy. Any change is going to be welcome, but it is the energy of the fall. And so that's going to get the masculines all up in their feelings, right? On March 28th, we do have Mercury conjunct Jupiter. And so this is the yearly kissing of the energy, right? And so this is our opportunity to go big or go home. And that's what Mercury stands for, right? Just go big, go big. Because Mercury is going to be in Aries. So it is the energy of following your heart. It's this energy too of public speaking. So bringing forward those inspirational messages, reaching people in their heart space, right? Coming forward with that authenticity. And so Jupiter too can bring forward an exaggeration of energies when it comes to any ideals or ideas. But I do feel this infusion of optimism to articulate what it is that you want, because words are spells, right? It's this energy of something needs to be said, and something important also needs to be heard on that day. And so on March 30th, we do have Venus conjunct Uranus. So I do feel we close off March on a high end. And so Venus conjunct Uranus at 16 degrees. I just feel this is going to be like a surprise of some sort, a surprise fated meeting, a surprise encounter, a surprise opportunity that's going to get you on a new trajectory by the end of the month. And come summer, things are going to be drastically different. So let's pull in with some cards. I grabbed a couple of different decks. So I'm going to grab a couple messages from the Cosmic Journey Oracle deck first. And then I'll pull in with some chakra cards. Look at that. Look at that. There are no wrong turns. And see through the perfectly perfect lens of your galactic destiny. And so 27 breaking down to a 9. 9 is about completion. Something is coming to an end. And so you might not know where you're going next, but you can't go back to where you've been, is what I think is the message there. Get ready to embrace some change. 23 breaking down to a 5. Get ready to take the rose-colored glasses off of a situation. So let's see what needs to come through with the cards. Keep in mind, this reading is not sign-specific, guys. General collective energies. So what messages need to come through for the collective? All right, what do we got? What do we got? Cut away what is no longer needed for you. So it's time to trim those dead branches. There's going to be, pardon me, people leaving your life. Maybe people that, you know, you've held on to a little longer than you should have. This is also a 9, which means it's kind of time to release everything that's no longer serving us at this point in time. Get ready to trim them dead branches. Get ready for things to leave your life that are no longer needed for you on the next leg of the journey. And then you ready for this one? 3, 2, 1, jump. that's kind of like the Fool, and it's a 1 card. And so 9 and 1 equals 10 when we're right back at the 1. And so life is a spiral. This is about trusting and following your heart, right? So we're breaking the mold is what we're here to do. And so see through the lens of authenticity, see through the lens of truth, and understand that your words do create worlds. Our thoughts, our emotions, our words create our realities. So what are you speaking into existence? I've noticed lately, I just can't get involved in meaningless conversations. I would rather sit in silence, right? Because I know the power of words, and I don't do drama, I don't do gossip. And so get ready for a pivot point. It's time to leave the past behind. And I do do some deeply seated inner child healing. You decided to wake up, or else why would you be here at this point in time? And so it is this energy of death, spiraling through the lessons, closing out these past cycles, and rising like the phoenix. So in order to rise into the light, we have to befriend our shadow, our fears, and we have to trust that we can take charge of our destiny. So let's see what needs to come through with the chakra balance card. So there's that speaking of the truth and our emotions, right? And so I do feel emotions are going to be a little off balance. I do think things are not crystal clear yet. There's a lot of feelings bubbling to the surface, affecting our self-expression, our moods, our energy. And then we get the throat chakra. That's a 29 card. And so that's that energetic degree. And so we're being 2911. Ooh, so I also feel too, we're using our voice to activate the next cycle by speaking our truth and cutting cords with people that no longer serve us in order to embrace true divine union. And so 2911, so 1111. Get ready for some truth to be downloaded, some truth to be spoken, articulating this truth. Something needs to be said, something needs to be heard. So we're going to see what else needs to come through with this deck, and then we're going to jump in with the tarot. Okay, self-esteem. There needs to be some responsibility around self-empowerment, self-discipline. Do you have low self-esteem? Because when we have low self-worth, then we operate out of a false sense of pride, a false sense of ego, a false sense of confidence. And so self-love, because it really is about connection with others. And we can't have that true emotional intimacy with others if we have a false sense of self-worth, a false sense of self-pride. And so the universal oneness, the interconnection of everybody, I feel is coming back online. I do feel a lot of third eye activations throughout the month of March. So where have you planted those seeds? Maybe this is the opportunity to plant that seed, or maybe you've already planted that seed and you've done the work, and now is time to see the growth sprouting above the surface. And so have you mastered self-discipline? Saturn is all about self-discipline. Are you reliable? Have you managed to find a sense of fulfillment within yourself? Have you stepped into self-empowerment? Because the last several years has been about trusting our intuition, embracing these spiritual insights, and trusting in the guidance that we have been receiving through this newfound awareness. And so seeing maybe a perspective shift, maybe you're going to see something in a whole new light with the clarity and the knowledge that you've gained in this truth coming forward. And I do feel get ready to get grounded, because we're going to have like a Piscean stellium coming up here. And so this is a lot of dreamy presence when it comes to our desires, joy, fun, and fulfillment. But we do still have to be practical with our stability and our presence. So I also feel a month of imagination and presence. So we get the creativity and the presence card. So 35 breaking down to an 8, which is spiritual strength. 8 is about power. There could be fortune coming, abundance. It is about abundance after a period of harnessing spiritual strength. Awareness, attention, reality, connection. And so when we are aware of our innate truth, our real perspective, not the clouded, skewed perspective, that's when the reality of these higher connections can come forward, and we can really bring that into our awareness and our attention. And so the Piscean energy is asking us to imagine what it is we want to create. How can we bring our original self-expression to the forefront to call in this passion? So I do feel clarity as to where somebody needs to go, laser focused on the next cycle, third eye energy. So self-love and self-worth is also coming through. So let's see what needs to come through with the tarot. Well, I'll be doggone damned. We got the Ace of Swords and the Chariot reverse. So whatever truth is coming forward, whatever revelation is coming forward, it is going to bring something to a dead stop. So this could be an angry outburst, an emotional outburst. This could be an accident. So you might want to watch where you're going. You're not going to want to rush into things. You're going to watch your speed, and that means, you know, driving, relationships. You don't just want to jump and dive into a relationship. I do feel some truth coming forward that is going to show somebody where they've lacked the drive, the determination, and the willpower to take charge. I think the truth is somebody is choosing to keep themselves stuck. Could be a Cancer, it doesn't have to be. But there is going to be some truth revealed when it comes to overcoming some challenges. And I do think faith is going to be needed. So let's see what else needs to come through with the cards for the month of March. We're just going to see what comes through, guys. All right, we get the Four of Cups, the World reversed, and transformation reversed. So we do have somebody here that has been in a state of discontentment, suppressed. Their soul has been suppressed. They've been depressed. They've been lost in a sea of emotions. There's going to be a wake-up call. This is indicating a missed opportunity. A missed opportunity from the past. This is also indicating something from the past needs to be brought to your attention when it comes to completing a cycle or reaching a level of spiritual enlightenment or accomplishment here. Something coming back around, maybe with an Aquarius, a Leo, a Scorpio, or a Taurus. And then we get this, oh, and I didn't even see that one, transformation reversed with the Page of Swords. And so there's that energy of communication. So I just feel like get ready to have a significant life experience in the month of March that's going to force these changes to be made. And so that's when that Tower comes in and we have that unexpected breakdown for that breakthrough. So there's going to be like a revelation. Somebody's been clinging to these old beliefs, an old cycle. I feel there's a need to gather some more information. We could have somebody here that, you know, has been watching somebody go through a transformation with a lot of regrets when it comes to missing the point of what that person meant for them in their life. Maybe that's the truth. That's the truth. And so I think there might be some challenging messages coming forward as well coming up here when it comes to this missed opportunity. So let's take a look at the Four of Cups. Let's clarify that a little bit deeper. Four of Pentacles reversed. Ooh, Five of Wands. Eight of Swords reversed. So somebody's been stuck in a bubble here. Self-confidence issues, self-worth issues. I just feel like this Five of Wands, somebody's been in a battle with themselves, fighting themselves, really struggling, I think, to look at all of the different masks that they wear to appease people. It's like, I also feel this energy, he's holding a wand. So somebody here, I feel, has had to deal with a lot of outside opinions that really has created this inner turmoil, this inner conflict. I feel a dramatic situation that needs to be released. Maybe something that you've been involved with for the last 3 or 4 years, 4 to 5 years. There's been fear of taking responsibility or maybe standing up for themselves when it comes to a situation that's created a lot of stress and drama. I also feel this huge release, the Four of Pentacles release. It's like all done trying to control and manipulate a situation. A release maybe of some emotions, but I feel breaking free from an imprisoned mind. Somebody's really been all trapped up in their mind over a missed opportunity, and they've been afraid to take action and take responsibility for what they left behind, and they know it's time to take charge of their life. I feel somebody here that was in victim mentality. They portrayed themselves as helpless. They created this illusion of entrapment in a situation, and this very well could be a release of a foundation, releasing. I'm just gonna take a leap of faith and release this, and releasing maybe something that brought them some financial security. Let's take a look at the world reversed. What is this lesson that needs to come back around to be learned? 3 of Pentacles in reversed, 6 of Pentacles in reversed, King of Wands in reversed. So this is a lesson in materialism, greed, pride, and ego. We've got a masculine here that is very prideful, that I feel has been refusing to answer a call. There's been communication issues. We've got somebody here that is supposed to be stepping into a leadership role as a motivational speaker or an inspirational leader of some sort, a spiritual coach of some sort. And I think there's fear stepping into the spotlight. Could be dealing with a Leo, Aries, Sag. So we've got a masculine here that's definitely been clinging to control, I feel, in a connection where it's really not what they love. This could have to do with work, new creative endeavor. But I feel somebody here has tainted their reputation. And they're definitely overly sensitive to criticism at this time. And I think they didn't see the big picture. So there could be a release of some sacred rage. There could also be some karma playing out with the wheel reversed and the 6 of Pentacles in reversed in order to get somebody back on track, is what I'm feeling. Because somebody, I think, is way off track here. And so there's likely going to be a sudden, unexpected ending or loss of money, maybe a job loss, in order to embrace some positive change. Somebody's resisted moving forward. They've been keeping their foot stuck in the wheel. This could be a huge loss of fortune. Somebody might have racked up a whole bunch of debt. They didn't borrow money wisely. They need to pay off some debt, whether this is karmic debt or financial debt. So whatever this unexpected ending is, there is a fresh start. And I do feel there will be a successful compromise and victory after a period of sorrow. So let's take a look at this transformation reverse, because I feel something might be coming back from the dead after a major life experience here. Yeah. Is this going to be a restart, a redo, perhaps, with the Fool reversed, Aries energy? Somebody's really needing to face their fears. There's fear about taking a leap of faith here. There's fear about returning to something from the past that did end, and maybe it ended very painfully. I feel somebody's allowed a person or a situation to really hold them back on their spiritual transformation. Yeah, and I do feel there was definitely somebody that maybe was in an unrequited love situation, or somebody in the past that, come in and was a romancer. And I feel maybe they were playing with somebody's heart, and I feel now they realize what it is that they've lost. So The Knight of Cups reversed, it's somebody that comes in, they sweep you off their feet and they drop you on the floor where they found you. And so I feel somebody is afraid to come back in because that's how they treated somebody in the past, and they've really been going into some deep inner introspection when it comes to how to bring forward a romantic offer. There was definitely a very painful ending in the past, but I feel something's reached completion, that somebody sees things clearly from like A to Z. And I do feel there's fear. Can there be a fresh start? Because they do want to come in loyal and dedicated now. They do want to come in and build a life. This is like an opportunity for a lifetime partnership. We've got somebody here that I think is growing up a little bit. I think they do. They want to come in loyal, dedicated, protective. They're fully aware that this Empress is going to be apprehensive because I don't think they treated her with respect in the past. Or maybe this Empress was not treated with respect in the past, and so she might be leery about letting somebody else in her heart. But March is the time to take action. March is the perfect time to take action, and I do feel coming into a lot of abundance and prosperity. So all of these energies in March are leading us towards a lot of abundance, a lot of success. We're going to have to release some pride, though. We're going to have to take some action towards our dreams. I feel this energy of manifestation. You've manifested something. Your ships are coming in likely around that full moon in Virgo. And this is the energy of blinders removed. I can see clearly now. And I think now that somebody sees clearly, they see clearly now what it is that they missed out on. And they missed out on their happily ever after. And so somebody was choosing to not see this. And now the rose-colored glasses are off and somebody sees this, they feel this. There's great sadness over a missed opportunity here. And somebody does need to release a past cycle in order to embrace this growth that's coming from these challenges in these energies. So an opportunity to heal a past misunderstanding for sure. And this can lead to a loving, happy relationship, but you're going to have to trust in your intuition. And that's what I got, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out that description box below, guys. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thanks.